Okay, I'm going to wait about another minute and then we're going to go ahead and start. I hope you can see everything okay. If you can, give me a thumbs up and let me know you're out there. Try to get a little better lighting. Okay. Well, I wanted to say hi to everybody who's out there. I see I have somebody out there. Just tell me hello and who you are. Let me just put that down a little bit more. Because we don't need to see everything there. Let's see. I think that's a little better. Okay. All right. Well, what I wanted to share with you today, and if you're on, just give me a thumbs up and just say hi so I know you're there, and I'll just keep checking. What I did for our 4th of July is I'm making this cute little silverware holder that would look really cute on your place settings. I just happen to have this little thing. I don't remember where I got it. It was either at Target a couple years ago maybe, or Hobby Lobby. But what I did find today when I went to Hobby Lobby is I did find these napkins, and they're already 30% off, and you get, oh my gosh, I think it was 50 of them for $4.99 plus then the 30% off. So when I originally showed you the picture, I just had it in red because that's all I had from probably Christmas. But now I found these with the stars, and this is what it is at the top. So I actually liked it, and I went ahead and changed it out, and I liked the red with the stars on it too. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. Also, let's see, I'll just keep checking. I did make a 4th of July card. Now, this is called Coffee Chat and Card, and sometimes, and I do have my little coffee here, sometimes we'll make our cards and other times we're going to make projects, and today we are going to make a project. But this card you can go ahead and look at on, I believe I put it on, well, it will be going on YouTube probably tonight, and it'll have all the directions of how I did this. And the stamp set that I used for this sentiment, Let's Celebrate You, I actually used this, which is one of our new stamps called Celebrate You. And I just cut that part off. I used my square framelits and did it that way. And you'll see on the video, I give you full tutorial on how I did it. This is actually a Christmas stamp that we had that was returning. That's my fireworks. And you'll get to see how I made this card. So that's not what I'm doing today. Today, I'm going to be making this. And let me tell you what I'm using. I'll get some of this out of here. Okay, I used to emboss, and I don't know if you can see it, but maybe if I put it up real close there, you can see the little stars all over. And that is from Oh My Stars, and it's an embossing folder. I love it. I've been using it for those cards. I actually did it on this card. I'll show you right there in the white. It's all the white stars. So it's, and I think I use this with the daisies too because it could look like a little flower. But I love this die. The sentiment that I'm using is the Celebrate, and this is out of our Tabs for Everything, and that's what I used to stamp that. And then this little set of stars here is what I did on the edges of my saying, and then I cut it out with the stitched oval framelits. Okay, then to make this little container, I actually used the popcorn. It's called Ready to Pop, and I didn't really use any stamps from this today, but what I did use was the framelit that makes a cute little popcorn box. So that's all we're going to need for today. So I'm going to be using, this is the popcorn framelits. I'm just going to be using this one framelit, and it does come with a star, but on my little holder, I wanted a bigger star. See how small that is? So I did have the wood crate, and that's one of our new framelits that comes with the wood, I think it's called wood crate dies too, stamps, and it had a bigger star, so I'm using that star today. All right, so those are the only two framelits that we'll be using today. Oh, wait a minute, I made a mistake. No, we're not. We're going to be also using the stitch shapes, and I'm going to be using the smallest stitched framelit oval, and that's what I did to cut out my saying. So we'll just put those aside, and then we'll be ready to go. The ink colors that I used are Pacific Point, and that was for my words for celebrate. And then I used Real Red to do the little stars. And the two stamps that we're using is the celebrate and the stars, so we're just going to have those here too. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, and I'm going to show you from the very beginning, I'm just going to take out my cutter, and you can get actually 2 of these out of one piece of paper. Now this is 8.5 by 11. This is our Real Red cardstock. So by the 11 edge, which is the longer one, I'm just going to cut it in half at 5.5. So let me line that up. We'll just cut it out, and that's all I'm going to need. But I can get 2 out of one sheet of cardstock. So I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out, move my coffee so I don't have any accidents here. I'm going to actually cut out the popcorn box part first. So let me move this over into the camera. I'm going to put down my sheet, and then I'm going to put on my frame. And we only need 1 of these because we're not actually making the popcorn box. We're going to make more of a pouch. So we just need 1. That's what I'm saying. You can get 2 out of one piece of paper. Okay, and then after you take that, you just pop it out like that. All right. Now, I'm going to move this a minute so I can fold this on the score lines. I find it's easier if I do that in the beginning than later. So I'm just going to go ahead and fold this down on the little skinny score line. Give it a good crease with your bone folder when you're making any type of box. You want to do that. Okay, and then we have 1 more, and this is going to come over and close. So it really has like 2 little score lines here. You want to really bring it over to the second one so that it will close like that. And that's how we're going to crease it. Let me make sure I've got it all the way over. And then we're going to crease it. Okay, then you have the short side and this longer one. This longer one we're going to cut off. We really don't even need it at all. So I'm just going to take my paper snips and just cut that right off. Okay, and that will be the front of my box. And how it's going to close up, it's going to go this way, and then this will be the front of our little pouch. But before we do that, I want to first take my embossing folder, and we're going to use all my stars. And I'm going to emboss this whole thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my stars. And you can do it any way you want. I don't know. I just kind of randomly did it. So now I'm bringing in the Big Shot again. And I'm going to flip this over to tab 1 because I am only embossing. I'm not going to be cutting. I'm going to put a plate down on the bottom, then my embossing folder. And when I emboss, if you notice it says Sizzlet or Stamping Up, that's the part I have up to the top, and that you'll be embossing. If you did it the other way around, upside down, you'd be debossing. So I'll show you what I mean in a minute after we get this through the Big Shot. So let's get that set up, and then we'll just run it through. Okay, I'm going to take this off again. All right, and this is what I'm talking about. When it's this way on your embossing folder, everything pops up and you get the embossing this way. If I flip it over, you see how it indents? That's debossing. So I did want to emboss, so that's why I make sure that I have this facing up when it goes through the Big Shot. All right, so let's get that put aside. And then, let's see, I think we're going to be ready to close this. So I'm going to bring my silicone mat in, and I'm going to take some of my tearing tape. And when I use it, it's a little wider than the edge, but that's okay. I'm just going to go right on my score line there, right up against it, and let the rest of it overlap off of the paper. And that's why I'm using my silicone mat so I don't get sticky. And see how it kind of goes over a little bit? It's okay. So just make it go down real good. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting a step. So before we do this, this is going to be our front. I'm going to take my 1 1/4 inch punch, and I'm just going to do, remember, this is all going to go around the back, so this is the part in the front. I'm just going to go down halfway, just sort of center it, and take a punch. And that's just going to give you a little scallop there, so it'll be easier to take your silverware out. Okay, now I'm ready to close it up. Don't forget that little part. Okay, now my glue is sticking over a little bit, so all I'm going to do is take my finger and curl it back up over the glue so that nothing's on the underneath side. And then I'm going to pull it around and close it up. Make sure your corners are together. The same thing as you go down so that it's all nice and straight like that. And then I'm going to take another piece. Now, I used snail before, but I found out, I guess because it's embossed, it didn't hold that well. So I am going to use another piece of tear and tape. You could use your fast fuse if you wanted to. And I'm just going to close my bottom using that. So let me get that off. And that'll close up on the back. Again, we'll just give it a nice good crease. So there's your little pouch. Isn't that cute? So, the next part I did was, let's stamp our sentiment, and I just had a little piece of Whisper White, and I did that in the Pacific Point Blue. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that. And then I'm going to be ready to cut out this with my framelit. And then I can also go ahead and use this and my star and go ahead and cut that out at the same time. So I'm going to get the Big Shot back. If you don't have a Big Shot yet, it really is worth getting because there's just so many things that you can do with it, with embossing and cutting, and it's just a time saver. It's great, and it makes things so much more versatile. All right, so I'm going to take my saying and my stitched oval framelit. I'm just going to put it on like that. And then I'm going to, you know what, I think I'm going to stamp the stars first. Let's do that. I think that is the way I did it last time. So let's hurry up and just put our little red stars on. And that way when we cut it, if it goes off the stitching, it's okay. So I just inked it up, and then I just kind of brought it to the corner of the word celebrate, and I did the same thing on this corner. There. Okay, now we're ready to cut. So let's go back, and this way I'm just going to center it, and see, I don't mind if it cuts off some of the stars, or it might just be in the stitching. And then I'm going to take my Dazzling Diamonds designer paper, and I'm going to put my star on, and then I'm going to put my top plate on top, and I'm ready to go through. Okay. So this is punching out my star, and then this is punching out my saying. And see how it goes off the paper? I like it like that. That's a great way. It's homemade. It's not supposed to look perfect and real precise. I like when it goes off the edge. Okay, so we can take this back in. And what I did was I took my dimensionals and I just put 2 on the back. And let me check. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask them as we're going. Let's see, I've timed out, so let me get back on. And I'll be checking as I'm working. Okay, and then the little star, I also put on with a dimensional. All right, and I just gonna put it on an angle and just like that. All right, then the next part I did is I took our cute little enamel dots And I found one of the blue stars in the Pacific Blue. And I'm just going to add it to the center of the star like that. And let's see, that's pretty straight. Yep. Okay. And then the last part that I did was I took this new ribbon that we have. It's called Pacific Point. It's awesome. It's the same color as the ink and everything, so it coordinates really well. And it's in our new catalog, so if you haven't gotten it yet, you can go on my website, StampFUNatics.com, and take a look. And let's see, I think that'll be about enough for a bow. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And then I'm just going to tie it right in the middle. Get rid of that. Okay, let's see, who's out there? Let's see, Lisa's out there. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. And let's see. Let me tie my bow first. All right, when I tie a bow, and I've kind of shown you guys this before, I tie from the back and come around and then put it through. So it's just like tying a shoe, but a little bit from the back instead of going around the front. And then I'll just snip off my ends, and I kind of do it at an angle, like that. And we're almost ready. So now, let me get my other silverware holder. And I'm just going to pull this out and show you what I did with the napkin. I put the napkin with the point like this, put my knife in, and a spoon and fork, and if you don't need all that, you don't have to. You can just put in whatever you're going to use. And then I just folded it from both sides, like that. And then made sure it was kind of even on the back. Wrap it around, and then I just pushed it in to our little holder. Let's see if I can keep that around the back. Like that. Isn't that cute? Okay. And I think last time I must have had this wrapped around more because I didn't really see the red. All I saw was the blue. So let me wrap it a little tighter. There we go. And then you just see the blue. And you can spread them out. You can make it as wide or as narrow as you want. I think I had the knife in the middle before. And you can even have room to add one more thing if you had a little candy or a little goodie you wanted to give them. And that's our little holder. So I hope you enjoyed that. Do you have any questions? Let me see. I'll be looking. Trying to refresh here and see if I can see. It's so hard. Sometimes I just don't see comments. Let me check on my iPad here. If you can see all this, just give me a thumbs up so I can see. Okay. All right. Got about 8 people looking out there, but you're very quiet. So that's what I had for you today. And then I also, like I said, if you go to YouTube and look up StampFUNatics, you can also see how I made this great card. I'm going to go ahead and post that tonight, so then you can see, and you can have a card for your friends and family. And you can also have this cute little container. I'm going to put it back on my plate there. So it just makes a cute little place setting, or you could have it in a bucket and just have them where they can pull them out. Because you know their hands get full with grabbing all the good stuff. I don't know if you're having ribs or chicken or hot dogs and hamburgers and everything and corn and all the good stuff. But this will be easier because then they can just pull this, grab their plate, and they can go. So that's what I've got for today. And if you have no questions, I think we might sign off early. I can't see any questions. Let's see. All right. Let's see. I don't see anything online either. Okay. Oops, sorry. I don't mean to juggle that and make you nauseous. So I'll just sip and have a little coffee, and you think about anything that you might want to ask me. I hope you're having a nice 4th of July. I always support the troops. I have lots of nephews that are serving right now, and I always think of them and how they're giving up so much so that we can have fun on the 4th of July, Memorial Day, all those holidays. And I don't want them to feel forgotten, so I'm always making something and showing them that I really am thinking about them and I do care. And when I can, when they're deployed, I usually will send out a lot of cards or goodies or something for them so that they know I'm there for them. So I hope you enjoyed this today. We're going to make it kind of short and sweet. And let's see, I'm trying to think if next Thursday, I think I'll still be here. I did have to take an unexpected trip out of town, so there will be 1 week I'm not going to be able to do a Facebook Live. But I will have something on Facebook, maybe a tutorial that you can just go and look at. So I hope you join me again. And if you like this, come and join me again. It's every Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And grab a coffee, cup of tea, whatever your thing is, if it's soda, water, and come and join me and chat with me. I love to chat with all of you guys. I just don't see anything, and I'm hoping I'm looking at it correctly because this is all kind of new to me too. But we can always, if you have a question, put a comment in the comment section. I'll be sure to check it later and answer any questions that you might have. And you can find any of these supplies on my website, StampFUNatics.com. Just go and click shop and it's at your fingertips. So I hope you have a great day and have a real safe and fun, happy 4th of July. And I will see you next Thursday. Thanks.